Hi guys, it's Arielle here from Fix My Books, and today we are going to be talking about the difference of all these corporate tax payments. So what's the difference between payment on filing, interim payment, amount owing, and balance due? So with that, I have a cheat sheet for you guys. So installment payments are basically your guess payments for the year based on last year's estimated taxes. So, for example, if you paid $10,000 last year in corporate tax, we're going to assume you're going to do around the same sales and expenses, which means your net profit will be the same. So, we're going to guess that you're going to pay the same corporate tax for this year. So, if we're guessing that you're going to owe 10,000 this year again, then 10,000 divided by 4 because you have to make quarterly installments. So that would be 2,500 per quarter that you're going to pay to the government. Right now, you don't owe that tax yet because they don't really know if you owe that tax or not. You could have had a great year last year and a horrible year this year. Hopefully not. But what if you made a net loss this year? So if you made a net loss, obviously you're not going to pay any tax, but you may still be required to make installment payments. So that's something to watch out for. So the reason why you want to make sure that you make installment payments is that you don't want to have a large bill at the end of the year that you can't pay. So if you don't have the cash flow to pay it, then you're going to have a balance owing, which is going to obviously accumulate interest and penalties. And if you overpay a little when you make installment payments, that gets refunded back to you, or you can transfer it to next year's corporate tax owing. So it's not really a big deal. But I know a lot of people who struggle at the end of the year, when they have a big tax balance due, then they try to get loans and things like that to pay off the CRA, even if it's a bank loan. So it's better to just make the installment payments so that, again, you're not hit with a big bill at the end of the year. And then the next one is balance due. So I'm going to show you guys. So the next one is balance due. So this is the leftover tax that you owe after subtracting all your installment payments from the total bill. So same example, let's say that you made $10,000 in installments, right? But then this year you did so much better than last year, so you actually owe $15,000 instead of 10. So you already paid 10 in installments, which means you only owe 5 at the end of the year. So you owe this 2 to 3 months after your fiscal year end, okay? And I'm gonna tell you to double check when your year end is. You have no idea how many people tell me, oh, my year end is December 31st. It's not. It was actually June 30, right? So there are different year end, so check that. This is usually due 2 to 3 months after your fiscal year end before filing your return. So what does that mean? So the corporate tax return is actually due 6 months after your year end, but the money that you owe is due 2 to 3 months after your year end. So the amount or the money is owing before you file your tax return. So that's when you'll use the balance due. So when do people use this? Exactly the situation. Maybe their accountant hasn't completely filed their tax return, but they have some idea that they're going to owe more, so they're going to pay the balance due before actually filing the corporate tax return. So you need to do this so that you're considered, first of all, compliant, that you pay on time. Okay. And also skip interest and other penalties. If you're late in paying, then you'll get penalties and interest. So the next one after this is the amount owing. It's the same as balance due. It's just the net amount that you still need to pay. Same as above, 2 to 3 months after your year end. That's when it's actually due. But the difference between amount owing and balance due is amount owing, you will actually get the amount in your notice of assessment or notice of reassessment. So years later, okay, after you file your tax return, if you get a notice of reassessment, you will be using the amount owing instead of balance due. So that's similar, but not exactly the same. So if you get like a notice of assessment, notice of reassessment, you'll use amount owing. Okay, last, payment on filing. So this is exactly you file and pay at the same time. So let's say your accountant files your corporate tax return today. He tells you, hey, pay this balance owing, then you pay right away. That's payment on filing. When you file your return, you pay right away. And most people do this because they just don't want to think about it anymore. You know, if the accountant says pay this is what you owe, then they'll just pay it and it's done. So with that being said, I know it might be intimidating that, you know, oh my gosh, like there are all these different types of ways to pay the CRA. But really, don't be scared, okay? No matter what option you'll choose with this, even if you go to interim, it will go to your CRA business number, right? And even if you mess up the period end, like it goes to 2025 instead of 2024, don't be scared because you can always transfer payments, okay, to the correct year. Really, the most important thing is the account number. Okay? So, as long as you put in the correct CRA number for your corporate tax, it doesn't matter really if you click interim, balance due. It all goes to the same place. And again, even if you make a mistake with the year, you are able to transfer that. So, just log into your CRA My Business account and you can make the transfer. I'm just going through all the options because I get this question all the time. But in terms of like, oh no, if I click the wrong thing, like if I click amount owing instead of balance due, what's going to happen? Does that money disappear? No, it doesn't. It will go to the correct tax account. You will not need to pay twice. You may need to transfer the payment if it went to the wrong year, but just, you know, be calm and know that it's not disappeared. Like you still paid the CRA. You may need to do some things in the background to, you know, fix a payment, make sure it went to the correct year. But other than that, don't be scared no matter what you choose. The most important thing is that you actually paid. Okay, so once again, that's Arielle from Fix My Books, and hopefully you guys like this video. Let me know if there are any other videos that you would like me to make, and please comment down below if you learned something from this video. Once again, this is Arielle from Fix My Books, helping you fix your books.